Delaney Jane Cards. Welcome back to my channel. Today I thought we'd pull out some scraps, some papers that I have that are all coffee themed, and I got them all from Scrapping for Less card kits over the last year. There's bits and pieces here, and I'm using a super cute pink and Maine stamp set. It's this lady with curlers in her hair, and she has fuzzy bunny slippers on and is in her bathrobe. It's really cute. So the basic layout of my card is there with my dies, and I'm just getting everything ready so that I can die cut it all. This collection here, I didn't have a piece big enough, so I pieced two together. So you can see I have all my die cutting done, did it all off screen, and I'm just laying everything out just to make sure that I have all the pieces that I want. I absolutely love making cards like this, where it's the same card, but it is several different types of pattern paper collections, so you get different looks and different feels with the same amount of effort. You can basically create them in an assembly line fashion. So here I was just determining how I was going to lay out my stamp so that I could get all my pieces out of one piece of Neenah white cardstock. I decided I was going to just stamp that extra little coffee cup right into that label die from Pink and Maine instead of die cutting it separately. And then I did stamp everything with my Ink on 3 Blackout ink. It is my current favorite Copic friendly ink. I have several. I just kind of, I don't know, pick one every once in a while and run with it for a while. So this is the coloring here. I did them in 3 different colorways. This first one is a more pink, like a real vibrant, hot pink bathrobe on this girl. Lady. She's probably a lady, but she's so stinking cute with them rollers in her hair. So I did go into my R's for my pink, all the way to, I think this is an R17 for my deep. Oh, I actually brought in my R39 too for the super deep areas. And I think that when you do Copic color, any coloring in general, if you really want to add dimension to your image, you really need to have super dark and super light and all the colors in between. When you look at an object, let's say you're looking at a silver car, it's going to have all sorts of tones all the way down to almost black, if not black, and white where the shine is. So it's just a good example of making sure that you have enough tones to get your shading and your dimension. So this lady here, I'm making her robe an aqua colored robe. I went all the way to the BG78 for the deepest, darkest shadows. And I definitely really like how all of the robes turned out. I could have colored them differently, I guess, and made them appear fuzzy. But I do make the slippers look fuzzy, so I didn't want everything to be fuzzy. So this is a brand new color combination here for me. I wanted a more peachy toned bathrobe for her, and actually one of these markers, it's the RV14, it's this marker right here. I had never used it before. Never ever. Maybe it's the 42. I forget what it is, but I have never used it before. It's like the salmon color. I don't know why it was hiding in my Copics because it's gorgeous. I should use it more often. So I did show the coloring bits and pieces on all the cards from here on out. Because I did all the hair the same, all the curlers the same. I did color all the bunny slippers the exact same way, but I did use the 3 colorways, so I will show the coloring on that. So here I was just flicking on my color. It was a little difficult to see where her hair was versus the curlers until I got more color laid down, and then it was really obvious where the curlers were. was like one of those optical illusions where I was just like, well, I don't know, all needs to be colored, so let's start somewhere. So as you can see, this is a different one here, but I did color all of the curlers in a bright pink because when I think of curlers, I think of bright pink. So there was all 3 of them colored up till this point. And here I decided I needed a little more definition to that coral, peachy, salmon colored robe. So I just added a little bit more to the darkest places, and I got a little bit better dimension, which, you know, is fine. So then I used the same colors to do the bunnies. And like I said, I did the bunnies all the same, but I will show the coloring because they are 3 different colorways, and I thought they were super fun. So the way the bunnies are drawn, I made a little line in from each of the scallops, I guess from where the scallops come in, so that it was like long fuzzy fur. And I just drew little lines basically around there with all of my colors, lightest to darkest, and then went back all the way back out to my lightest, trying not to lose any of that definition that I added. And I think they did okay. I do think that the one that looks the best is the aqua one, and you'll see that one here shortly. So then I did little pink noses on these bunnies and moved on to the next set of slippers. Now these ones, I have an overly juicy marker. You'll see that come into play here, and in the end, I think it's fine. I don't think that the mistake really is that noticeable, I guess. See it? So when you have a marker that is overfilled, and I don't know how that one got overfilled. I don't even have a refill for it. I think the pressure just gets all weird inside them sometimes. If that's the case, you just take both caps off. Usually you can tell like the nib looks like it's just super wet. And if I would have been paying attention, I could have avoided the little bloop thing. But it didn't bloop where like I couldn't hide it, so I just went with it. It was fine. Maybe she dripped some coffee on that slipper. So this one, like I said, is probably my favorite. It really shows the texture on the bunny well because of the vastness, the wide range of colors that I used. I went all the way from that BG78 all the way up to a really light, I think BG11. It definitely allows for the texture of the bunny to really show. It almost looks too textured here, and then as I get going, you'll see that it blends out some and does look much nicer. BG32 is my lightest color. That's a fairly new marker for me too, and I do like that one. So I did put the pink into the bunny's noses, and for the skin tone, I did my traditional BV as my shadow and just added, oh, see that E11 is overfilled, so you see me take both caps off so that it doesn't bloop on my picture. So I colored them the same. It was just very simple, and there they all are. And then I had to decide on the little nightgown that is showing. I used the pattern papers that these were going on to pick colors. That's why the first one was like a blue color, and these two get a yellow pajama underneath. I used my cool grays here to do the steam on the coffee, the one that she's holding, and the one that's going to be die cut out, that little scalloped edged die. And then I colored all the coffee. Everybody likes cream apparently. And then I coordinated the coffee cups with the pajamas. So the one with the yellow pajamas has the yellow cups, and the one with the blue pajamas has the blue cups. It's kind of that rule of 3, where you see 3 of the same thing, in, or 3 of the same color in 3 places of the same color. It helps, I don't know, with your movement or movement of your eye around, whatever. Anyway, I'm talking like I understand what I'm talking about, and I don't. So I die cut all my pieces here off screen for all the colors, and then I started to assemble my pieces, and then little hearts are super tiny. They were part of a Pink and Main kit. They came with that little scalloped circle that I ended up using. So here I used a scalloped edge die, and then I made sure I die cut it with extra room so I could just adhere this like thin label to it, and then I would have everything lined up instead of trying to die cut it, with the perfect amount of place to stick it so that it would all be straight. It's just way easier. So then I made sure that I had all my patterns together so that I didn't mix up my sets. And see, I almost put that one on the wrong one. So you can see why I picked the colors I did, because they just coordinate really well with the pattern papers. And I'm not sure at this point if I have a favorite like color scheme. I do like the papers with the, oh, I'm cutting a piece of paper for my 2-year-old. He needed this piece cut, and he was directing me as to where to cut it. You'll see his little hand come in and get it. There's one piece, and there's 2 pieces. So now I can get back to making my cards. So I laid everything out, put foam tape on all the things that needed foam tape on them, because this was like an assembly line. Even though the Copic coloring was all different colors, I did everything in order. I did the bathrobes and the hair, and then the slippers and the skin tone, and the mugs and the curlers and all that stuff. And I'm going to do the same with the assembly of the cards. So I adhered the circle out, and you'll see that I did not die cut an entire circle out of any of them because I knew I was going to be cutting it off. And then I adhered this sentiment strip with foam tape, and I used some liquid adhesive because I wanted to make sure I could move it around a little bit if I needed to. And I was just assembling this one like I knew what I was doing, I guess. So that was crooked. See, that's why I used the liquid adhesive. And with these papers from Scrapping for Less, it's kind of nice because they have like a glossy finish, so things peel up differently. I think this pattern paper here is like a Echo Park paper maybe. It does not have that finish to it, so I needed to be much more careful. So here I adhered down my little person, and you'll see my mistake here. I put the adhesive on here, and I was like, why is this blue and that is yellow? And then I was like, oh, this is the yellow one. And then I'm like, oh no, it's the wrong girl. She does not belong on that card. If you watch any of my videos, you know that there is a blooper like this in every single one. So I put the peach salmon colored girl down on that one. And then I put this card together because, well, this is the last one. I figured all these pieces went to this card. The only problem with trying to make a bunch of cards with different patterns is sometimes, well, no, all the time, I end up doing something wrong and something doesn't go together right. But that's the reason for the liquid adhesive. So here are the little tiny hearts that I cut, and I just very creatively cut them out of fronts and backs of coordinating papers that came in the collections that I got these from. So this is like a little gingham heart on this one, and I was just trying to figure out how I wanted this. In the end, I end up with the heart on the mug and a large and a small heart above it, which I think turned out super adorable. And I used that jewel picker thing. I need to figure out a different solution, I guess. That thing is not as sticky as I had hoped for. So I added some white gel pen details to everything after I had gotten them finished up. And I still don't know which one I like best. I really like that new color combination of this peach salmon color because I've never used that one before. I did also use a black glaze pen on the eyes of the ladies, girls, whatever they are, the coffee drinkers, and the slippers because, well, the slippers are so stinking cute. Makes me want a pair of like aqua blue bunny slippers, or pink, or salmon, or whatever. I'd be fine with any of them. So here I was deciding what colors I wanted to mount my panels on. in the end, I think I did one brown and two brown, yeah, two brown and one of this pink. And I think what I had decided and what ended up were two different combinations. Like I had put one pattern up against it and I was like, oh yeah, that looks so good. And I ended up not. I think the salmon colored one was going to go on the pink, but I decided to put the aqua one on because there really is no other pink besides what's in the image on that card. And I wanted to make the pink show up in three places: the bunny nose, the curlers, and the frame. So it's pleasing to the eye, I guess. I don't really know what the rule is, but I think it's like the rule of three, odd number rule. I don't know. So then I pulled out some sequins, and these are a Scrapping for Less mix from one of the kits over the last year. There is some like brown and some kind of creamy colored ones, and that is what I chose as my embellishments for this card. I think I did it for all of them. It's been a little while since I made these cards. I make a lot of cards, so sometimes I forget. And I did put some glossy accents on the little die cut hearts. And I have been using my glossy accents lately, but definitely having trouble keeping it from clogging. And then I added little white like pupils to all of the black black glaze pen eyes. I am having trouble with words. So here are some still shots of the cards that I made. I'd love to hear what your favorite is. Do you have a favorite color combination? Do you like making cards like this in this style where you mass produce things but they're different? I really appreciate you stopping by. As always, I hope you give cards generously. Very, very generously. And thank you again. Have a great day. Bye.